So in order to program Arduino, the programming language that we are going to use is C and a little bit of C++. If you know the basic of this is good enough. So in the previous class, we discussed the 5 important concepts. The one is variables and data types, then decision making, then we saw loops, we saw functions. The first one is, of course, the general concept. Okay, so let us see this one by one and see how are we going to apply this for Arduino program. Number one, data types. So you know what a variable is, isn't it? Variable is the name that you associate with an information in order the genie to remember. So depending upon the type of information, we have the following data types. First one is integer data type. The second one is floating point data type. Third one is character data type. Fourth one is string data type. So how did we declare integer data type? Integer, int, integer, some variable name, count equal to 30. Integers is applicable for round numbers. How did we declare floating point variables? Float, weight equal to 1.32. Floating point data type is used for fractional numbers. The third data type that we discussed was character data type. Character code is assigned to F. Characters are always associated with single or first. The last data type was string data type. It is a special data type of character. In fact, group of characters, we call them as strings. So we define them as character. You can give some variable name, college name. In this case, it has to be declared with the size of the array. So initialized with Pondicherry Technological University, something like this. You can either define the size of the array or you can leave it open, depending upon your choice. But this is mandatory because a string is a group of characters. These are the 4 important data types that we come across. The second one, typically I would give you some introduction about the operators. Operators are nothing but the symbols which we use for performing a unique operation. Each operator performing a unique operation. Let us discuss these operators one by one. The first operator, the very important operator, is called the assignment operator. For our example, let us have 3 variables. Integer x is equal to 5, integer y is equal to 10, integer z. Okay, so I don't have any value for it. Whereas I have x and y initialized to 5 and 10 respectively. So we have 3 variables here. When I say variable, you should know what exactly it is. Variable is nothing but a name I associate with the information. What is the information? This is integer information. This is integer information. This is defined as an integer but is not assigned any value. We may assign something in future. So this is the 3 information I have. The first one is called assignment operator. Assignment operator is what we normally use in our actual scenario. Z is equal to x plus y. This is an operator. This is a simple statement in C. What is the meaning of this literally? Z is assigned with sum of x and y. So what I do, I take x and I add this with y. Summation of these two I assign with z. So in general, for assignment operator, left hand side is assigned with something on the right hand side. So whatever you are writing on the right hand side of this equal to symbol is assigned to left. So this is the fellow who is having that value. Left is assigned with something on the right. The right can be anything. It can be a value. Say for example, in this case, z is assigned with 25. In this case, 25 happen to be a constant, which always have a constant value, same value. I can also write z with a equation. Z is equal to x multiplied by 25. In this case, z takes a value which is depending upon the value of x. So likewise, you can write anything on the right hand side, but eventually the result of this is always assigned to the left hand side variable. So this is called the assignment operator. The assignment operator in C is represented as a equal to symbol. Very, very important symbol. Second operator is called arithmetic operator. What are the operators we use for performing arithmetic operations? Arithmetic operations means all the operations that we deal in mathematics. What are the important operators that we deal in mathematics? Adding 2 numbers, addition, subtracting 2 numbers, subtraction, multiplying 2 numbers, star, dividing 2 numbers. There is also a special operator called remainder operator or modulus operator. There is another operator called plus plus or increment operator. There is another operator called minus minus, that is called decrement. These are all the operators that involve in arithmetic operator. This operator would add 2 numbers. Example, z is equal to x plus y. X is added with y and it is assigned to z. In this case, z is equal to x minus of y. The difference of xy is assigned to z. In this case, is for this. For this, z is equal to x multiplied by y. Z is assigned with the product of x and y, multiplication value of x and y. Here, z is equal to x divided by y. Okay, this is something that is interesting. This is called remainder operator or modulus operator. Example, let us say x equal to 7, y is equal to 5. If I perform this operation, z is equal to x modulus of y. The answer of z would be the remainder of x divided by y. What is the remainder of x divided by y? Z takes 2, which is the remainder. Plus plus is called increment operator. It's called increment operator. Suppose if x equal to initially 7, x equal to 7, if you perform x plus plus equal to 7, this is x plus plus, then if you perform x plus plus once, then you would end up in getting x equal to 8. If you perform x plus plus again, then x becomes 9. So x plus plus means you increment that particular value by 1. The other way of telling x plus plus equal to x plus 1. So the other way of writing x plus plus is equal to x equal to x plus 1. You simply add 1 to already existing value of x. That's what is x is. This fellow is called a decrement operator. Okay? So if initially I'm writing decrement operator here, the next page. Suppose if x is initially 7, if you perform x minus minus, what you will get? You will get x equal to 6. What that means? X minus minus is equal to x minus of 1. You take already existing value of x and you subtract that by a value of 1. That is x minus minus. If you perform x minus minus again, you would end up in getting x equal to 5. So initially we have 6, we subtract 1 from that, so we get 5. So this x plus plus and x minus minus are called shorthand notations, which we normally use for incrementing and decrementing a value. Third one is the conditional operator. Very, very important operator which is used for taking decision making. In fact, we discussed a small amount of this in the previous class. This is used for taking decisions. Most widely used operator in the if statement. What are the conditional operators we saw? Suppose if we have two variables x and y, I want to check whether x is equal to y. Whether x is equal to y. Equal to means double equal to. If you put single equal to, it becomes an assignment operator. There is a difference between single equal to and double equal to. Single equal to is assignment operator where we assign the result of certain thing to a variable. Whereas double equal to is called equal to operator, which is used to check whether two numbers are equal. Say for example, if I put x equal to y means I am checking whether x is same as y. If x is having a value of 5 and y is having a value of 10, the result of this operation will be a false. Why it is a false? Because x is not equal to y in this. This is equal to operator. The second one is not equal to operator. This is called not operator followed by equal to. So this is not equal. So let me write it here. This is equal to, not equal to. Then less than or equal to, greater than or equal. This is pretty straightforward. There is no technical involved here. This is called less than operator. This is called less than or equal to. This is greater than operator. This is greater than or equal. These statements are widely used for taking decisions based on comparing two numbers or two values. Let me give you an example. If x is equal to y, do something. In this case, I am checking whether these two numbers are same and then doing something. Second example. If x is not equal to y, then do something. In this case, I am comparing whether the two numbers are not equal. The third example, I am taking a decision whether x is less than y. In fourth case, I take a decision whether x is less than or equal to y. What is the difference between less than or equal to? Less than means, suppose if you have x equal to 5 here and y equal to 10. So if I issue this instruction, x is 5, y is 10. This condition will be true only when x is less than 5. In this case, it is true. Okay. Suppose for some example, for certain scenario, the value of this x when it becomes 10, still this is a false. Why? Because this operator will return a true if and only if x is less than y. Even when x is equal to y, this will return a false. Whereas this operator will take into consideration whether x is equal to y. So if initially x is equal to 5 and y equal to 10, because x is less than y, this result will return a true. After some time, the value of x becomes 10. In this case, the value of x is not less than, but it is equal to the value of y, which is 10. Even in this case also, it will return a value. So it will return true in two cases. If either x is less than y, or if x is equal to y, in both these cases, it will return true. So this less than or equal to operator combines this and this. Okay. Similarly, this greater than or equal to operator combines this greater than operator and this equal to operator. So these operators are used for decision making. Very, very important operators. This is the ones that we use very often. Fourth operator is called a logical operator. Logical operator is most widely used for combining decisions. There are three logical operators. One is AND, the other one is OR, the other one is NOT. Logical AND is represented as double ampersand. Logical OR is represented as double straight line or pipeline operator. Logical NOT is represented by an exclamation symbol. Why these logical operators are used? Logical operators are widely used for combining decisions. Let us say I have two numbers, x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 10. So I want to take a decision in this situation. I am putting in if statement. If the value of x is less than the value of y, that is the first statement. That is the first condition. The second condition is and I am combining another condition, and the value of x is also less than 100. Okay? So I am combining two decisions here. What are the two decisions? The value of x must be less than the value of y. This is the first condition. The second condition is the value of x should be less than 100. So I am combining these two. It's called an AND operator. The result of this will be a 1 only when both the conditions are true. This should also be a true and this should also be a true. Only then the result will be true. Overall result will be true. If either one of the two conditions becomes false, the entire conditions becomes false, which means that is how AND operator works, right? Why this is called AND operator? The AND operator's value will be a 1 if and only if both the inputs are right. You know how an AND gate works, right? In Boolean algebra, an AND gate has two input A, B, and C. So if I am going to draw a truth table for A, B, and C, this is A, this is B, and this is C. So if I am going to draw a graph, what are the four possible combinations of A and B? A and B can take 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. These are the four possible combinations of this A and B. What can be the possible outcome of this? The possible result of this? If both of them are 0, the result is a 0. If any one of the two input is a 0, the output is still a 0. The output of C will be a 1 if and only if both the inputs are 1. That is the property of AND gate. So that is the property that we are using here. And the moment I put an AND symbol, I expect a 1 and I expect a 1 on both the sides for the overall result to become a 1. That is a last property. On the other hand, if I use OR, so in the place of this AND operator, if I use an OR operator, for example, if either one of the two is true, then the overall result becomes true, which means if either x is y less than y, or if x is less than 100, if any one of the two condition is true, then the overall result becomes true. Why? Because that is how an OR gate is. Let us take the Arduino case itself. So I am having two switches. This is one switch. This is another switch. So I call this as switch 1. I call this as switch 2. So I have a buzzer here. So I give you a condition like this buzzer should go on when either one of the two is pressed. If S1 is pressed or if S2 is pressed, I want the buzzer to go on. That is the condition. So the buzzer should go on if either S1 is pressed or S2 is pressed. See this OR operator. In this case, I use this OR logic. On the other hand, if I give you a condition like the buzzer should go on only when both the switches are pressed. Say, for example, if I change the situation like buzzer should be go on only when S1 is on and S2 is on. In that case, what is the operator should we use? We should use a AND operator. The AND operator is okay. NOT operator is obviously is one's complement operator, is an inverse operator. Fifth one is called bitwise operator. Bitwise operator is used to perform bitwise logical operations. Bitwise logical operation. Bitwise logical operations means I have two numbers, two binary numbers. X is equal to X is a 4-bit number. Let us say 0010. Y is another 4-bit number 1110. Okay. I want to perform bitwise logical. For each bit I want to perform logical operation. That is called bitwise logical. So in bitwise logical, there can be four possible scenarios. First one is bitwise AND. I want to perform the bitwise AND of X and Y. So I want to let us say Z is equal to X bitwise AND of Y. Bitwise AND means Y. You take one-to-one AND operation of these two. So what will be the result of this if you take AND of this? 0 ANDed with 0 is 0. 1 ANDed with 1 is a 1. 0 ANDed with a 1 is a 0. 0 ANDed with a 1 is again a 0. So this is the result of Z. So if you take two numbers and perform one-to-one bit level AND operation, then we use bitwise AND. That is the first choice. Second choice, we have bitwise OR operator. Bitwise OR operator means what? You perform one-to-one bit level OR. So Z is equal to X OR of Y. So what is the value of Z in this case? 0 or 0 is 0. 1 or 1 is a 1. 0 or 1 is a 1. 0 or 1 is again a 1. So this is the value of Z. So bitwise AND, bitwise OR, beautiful operator. Bitwise NOT or ones complement operator. Z is equal to ones complement of X. What will be the value of Z? This tilde symbol is called ones complement. This is bitwise AND. This is bitwise OR. This is bitwise NOT or ones complement. So if X is equal to 0010, what is ones complement of X? 1101. We just if X is equal to 0010, ones complement of X means you convert 0 to 1. So this is ones complement. So this is the Z. Fourth operator is exclusive OR operator. CAP, XOR operator. XOR operator. Exclusive OR or XOR operator is used to perform the exclusive OR function of two numbers. So I have X equal to 1101, Y is equal to 0101. So if I put this logic, X is equal to X exclusive OR of Y, what will be the value of Z? For that, you should know what is XOR means. In your basic, this is your OR gate. If you put another bar here, this becomes an exclusive OR gate. So this is A, B, and C. So if I'm going to put the truth table of XOR gate, this is A, B, and C, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. What will be the output of C when both the inputs are same? So the exclusive OR gate, when both the inputs are same, the output will be a 0. When both the inputs are different, the output will be a 1. So the exclusive OR gate will give you an output of 0 when both the inputs are same. When both the inputs are different, the output will be a 1. See, here both of them are 0, the answer is a 0. Here both the inputs are 1 and 1, the output is a 0. When both the inputs are different, here this is 0, this is 1. Here this is 1, this is 0. In that case, the output will be a 1. So that is a property of a exclusive OR gate. So you know what is X and you know what is Y. So if I ask you to take the exclusive OR of X and Y, what is the value? What is the value of Z? So when I say bitwise operator, you have to do bit by bit. First one, both of them are same, output is a 0. Second one, both of them are same, output is a 0. Third one, both of them are same, again output is a 0. Fourth one, both of them are different. In that case, it is a 1, 0, 0, 0 is the shift operator, left shift and right shift. You know what is this? This is less than operator. If you put another less than equal to, this is called left shift, and this is right shift, right shift, left and right shift. Yeah. So what is left shift and right shift? Left shift and right shift. Left shift means let us say X is equal to 0, 1, 0, 1. Let us issue this statement. Z is equal to X left shifted by 2 times. Okay. You can imagine left shift operator like you must be having benches in your classroom, right? Let us say we have a bench in which 4 students can sit. Okay. Initially, the bench is having all ones. Let us say so instead of 1, 0, 1 having all ones. For example, this is the initial case. This is the initial value of X. When I say X is left shifted by 2 times, what it means, the leftmost fellow will go out for the first shift. So when the leftmost fellow goes out, so he is now standing. The third fellow who was sitting here will come and sit here. So he takes his position. This fellow will come and sit here, which means this will be here. Whichever is available here will come here. So he takes this position, and the first bench or the first place becomes empty. This is the first left shift. This is x left shifted by 1. X left shifted by 2 means this will happen again. Again, already the first fellow is standing. Now the second fellow who is sitting here will come out. 2 fellows will come out now. When 2 fellows come out, you have 2 empty places. And previously, whoever is sitting here will now come here. So this is a 1. Previously, who is sitting here will come here. This is a 1. Previously, nobody is sitting here. That is retained as 0. Now the new empty place is 0. This is the result of left shifting to 2 means. Same is for right shift. Let us say x is equal to 1, 1, 1, 1. 4 ones. I am doing x right shifted by 2. When I say right shifted, in this case, shift is happening on the right hand side, which means these 2 fellows will go out and you have 2 zeros available on the left hand side. 2 empty places on the left hand side for these 2, and 2 fellows will go out. So these 2 fellows will take the last one. So this is my right shift. Example, x is equal to 1, 0, 1, 0. What is x right shifted by 1? 1 right shift, this fellow will go out, 1, 0 will come inside. So 0, 1, 0, 1 is the answer. Okay.